established Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Jamaican Maroons. You have heard of the Jamaican Maroons?
The Jamaican
Have you heard
Maroons,
of them?
briefly.
Okay, so
Briefly.
Jamaican Maroons, well, you know their story. I mean,
Yeah.
the British couldn't keep them enslaved.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
the Spanish did for a bit, but they couldn't keep them enslaved.
Mhm.
So anyway, after about 100 years of them, fighting
Mhm.
against the British,
Yes.
they signed a peace treaty.
Okay.
And with that peace treaty, was it the Trelawney Maroons, I think, came to Nova Scotia.
Mhm.
A militia of them came to Nova Scotia with their
Yeah.
wives and so forth, and helped to rebuild Citadel Hill there in Halifax. And when they came to Nova Scotia, a lot of them were placed here in the Preston area,
Okay.
and some in Sackville. So that was in the 1700s.
Mhm.
Some of the Maroons went to Sierra Leone in the 1800s. And then have you heard of the War of 1812? Across the border in the U.S., the War of 1812?
1812.
Me never.
Never? Okay.
No.
So during the War of the 1812, again, the slaves were told, join our side and we'll give you freedom. So refugees, a large group, referred to as the refugees of the War of 1812, came to Nova Scotia. So those were the large groups that came to Nova Scotia. And then there was another group that came, I think the planters, don't know that year. And then in the later years, around I think maybe the 1940s is when groups came from the Caribbean to work in the coal mines in Cape Breton. So large groups of blacks came to Nova Scotia over those 400 or 500 years. And we've been here.
Wow.
We've been here and building and establishing and
Yeah.
building institutions and organizations, African Baptist Association, the Black County Front and
Yeah.
Black Culture Center, just
Okay.
building over the
Yes.
years, yeah. So it's lots of history.
Yes. Yes.
There's lots
definitely.
of history. Have you been to the Black Culture Center?
Not yet, because
Okay.
this is.
Oh, this your first
actually
stop?
our
Yes.
First stop, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why, and
Okay.
this is what I was about to ask you. What would you recommend us to see?
You definitely want to go to the Black Culture Center
Black
because that's where you can
Culture
get a
Center.
lot of the stuff that I talked to you about. You'll get
Yes.
a lot of that history there.
Okay.
You might want to just drive around this area. This is North Preston.
Yes.
Preston was a township.
Okay.
When the British was taking the native land, they started organizing townships
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over Canada. So Preston was a township, very large, all the way down to Dartmouth,
Okay.
and of course over the decades,
Yes.
they eat away, and then so now the Preston area is usually now considered North Preston, East Preston, Cherrybrook, and Lake Loon.
Mm-hmm.
It was much larger back
Okay.
in the
Okay.
1800s.
Alright.
And across Nova Scotia, I think there's 52 black communities. Some aren't thriving as much now, with gentrification, whatever else has happened. Some are very small,
Mm-hmm.
but there's communities spread all over
Okay.
the province. Ours is the largest
Yeah.
in terms of population.
All right.
And there's down the Guysborough area, you get Trackett, up a big Trackety, and Lincolnville, and all those communities there. And you go down the Valley area, there's Bridgetown, there's lots of communities there, and Amherst area, there's communities there. So we're spread out.
Wow.
We're spread out, and we're
Yes.
here
Yes.
and dealing with all that we have to deal with.
Okay. Yeah, and this is what I wanted to know. Were there like difficulties, like
Oh my gosh, yeah,
yes, huh?
yeah, yeah. Even
did-
when the settlers first came, they were promised
Yeah.
land grants that they didn't get. Some had to go to England to petition because they didn't get
Oh,
the
really?
land grant. And still today, we're fighting land
Wow.
issues.
Wow.
Still today, we're fighting land issues. So yeah, no, it hasn't been an easy road. Education, we have to fight for equal education.
Okay.
The schools were segregated in Canada
Mm-hmm.
up until,
Hold on. The school was segregated in Canada.
oh my gosh, yes, up until the late 50s.
Wow.
Late 50s, coming to the early 60s. Our school here is all black,
Yes.
so it's not segregated on paper, but I mean it's one of the last remaining of the segregated
Yes.
schools.
Yes.
Everybody can come here
Yeah.
now, but just because we're, I say community, the
Yes,
children are all
yes.
black. Oh no, segregation was in Canada. When I was growing up, at my age in the 60s,
Mm-hmm.
the official segregation had ended by then, in the 50s. But schools were integrated. But then there was a lot of streaming and separation inside those buildings and not equal access. Like the school's bigger now. This was a smaller school.
Okay.
Our school was still all black, and we didn't have equal resources.
But
Yeah.
was it the segregation like in the U.S.?
Oh yeah, segregated schools.
Exactly like
Schools
in
were
the U.S.
schools were segregated. Schools were segregated, and then through the years, through the history, they slowly became integrated. Like for example, here in this community,
Yes.
the first person to even be allowed to go to high school
Mm-hmm.
was my aunt, my mom's cousin, and that was in the 1940s,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to go all the way down to Dartmouth, and
Nice.
because my mom, there was no opportunity for her to go to high school. You went to either grade 6 or grade 8.
Mm-hmm.
And one room schoolhouse. That was the days of the one room schoolhouse.
Okay.
Because they were one room
One
school
room school.
with all the grades in one school.
Wow.
And so Rosella Fraser, her daughter, is actually the director of the community center.
Mm-hmm.
She was the first in this community to be even allowed to go to high school.
Okay.
And then I think a few years later, 3 more girls were
Mhm.
allowed to go to high school. Like you didn't even,
Nice.
the opportunity wasn't there. The first to actually graduate from that high school, and like I said, it was way down Dartmouth. It wasn't like
Down,
near
okay.
here. Her name was Sylvia Winder. Actually, she's a granddaughter of the person that the school's named
Okay.
after. So she was the first to graduate, and that was in the 50s.
Okay.
And then
Wow.
finally they built Green Creighton. It's a
Mhm.
junior high now, just out here a little bit by the Black Cultural Center.
Mm-hmm.
They built Green Creighton High in 1964.
Mm-hmm.
So then all the children went to
Yes.
high school. But before they all couldn't go to high school. So yeah, no, it's a lot of history.
Yes.
You just gotta dig and research and
Yes. Yes.
read and
Exactly.
yeah,
Wow.
it's a lot of history.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah. So.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna
Yeah.
hold you any longer
Yeah,
because I know that
got my
you're
mail.
super busy.
Yes, busy week.
And,
Busy week, but yeah, Public Black Cultural Center, and
Yes, we're
Russell
gonna go
Gross is
there.
the chief
Wow.
CEO there now.
last thing, because I heard briefly about the native black Canadian
Yeah.
through a movie. I think there was a movie that was released like 20 years ago, 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. Which
It's
one was
about
that?
a fight between white students and black students. They said that it's based on a true story.
There's a
It
couple
started
movies.
in a school, and then there was like a fight with young
There's-
black people versus white
Oh,
people.
there's so many films.
I
and
don't know
movies.
if you see what I
Speak
mean.
It from the Heart of Nova Scotia. Was it that one?
I
There were
don't
some high school
remember.
students that did.
But it started with the school or a tension between students, black students and white students,
There's
and
been a
then it
couple of
spread
them.
all over.
There was. Oh, there was a play. No, not that one. There were tensions at Cole Harbor High back in the 80s. I don't know if that one ever became a movie.
Okay.
There's kids from St. Pat's High School in Halifax. The school's gone now.
Mhm.
They made a movie called Speak It from the Heart of Nova Scotia.
Okay.
Actually, you know Shantae Grant, the poet Shantae
Shantae
Grant.
no.
She's a poet here from Nova Scotia, but she was a student at that time.
Okay. Yes.
And so that would be a National Film Board
Okay.
collection.
Mhm.
More recently, do you know Lauryn Hill?
Yes, the singer.
No,
No. Oops.
not Lauryn Hill. Lawrence Hill, maybe.
Lawrence
Oh,
Hill.
maybe I got the wrong last name. Anyway, he's an author.
Okay. All right.
So he wrote a lot of stuff, but he wrote the Book of Negroes. He wrote the book, and then it
I
became a
heard
movie.
of the Book of Negroes.
You gotta read the Book of Negroes. The Book of Negroes will give you. It's a historical fiction, but it will give you the story of the Loyalist era.
Okay.
So you want to read that, but there is a movie made of that also. The Book of Negroes, because the Book of
Isn't it
Negroes
like
was
a TV
was its registrar for the
a
people.
mini-series?
It was a
something like
miniseries. It was a miniseries.
that? The Book of Negro, right?
Book of
and
Negroes.
the main actress. It was a main actress.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but what's his
Right?
face? Lou Gossett Jr. I believe was in it.
And it was in the time of the slavery.
Yeah, it was the time of
Okay.
the loyalists after that war of independence.
Okay.
And when the blacks who escaped to the side of the British, and now
Okay.
they're in New York, and now
Yes.
it's time to come to Nova Scotia.
All right.
And well, actually, the book itself and the movie itself starts with, enslavement when they were crossing the ocean,
Mhm.
but then it comes all the way to when they came to Nova Scotia. So
Okay.
you can get a lot of history from that, from both his book and from the movie.
All right.
There's bits and pieces of
Mhm.
stuff. There's other music. There's the Black Cultural Center here. And I don't know
Okay.
how long you're here, but there's also the Black Loyalist Museum down in Birchtown,
Okay.
which is about a 3-hour drive from here.
I got here the Black Culture Center,
Yep,
the
that's just not far.
community center.
Community center's over here,
And
yeah.
what is it, what you just
The
mentioned?
Black Loyalist Museum. That's another
The
museum,
Black-
but it's about 3 hours from here. Which
Loyalist.
depending on where you want, you might want to visit
Museum.
that too, because that's going to give you that. And that has, I think that actually has a copy of the Book of Negroes, the
Okay.
actual with the lists of the people
All
that
right.
came.
Black
Yeah.
Loyalist Museum.
Yeah, and that's
We're
down
gonna
the
check it out.
town.
Because we're heading back tonight.
Oh,
But before, our mission is to, you know.
okay. Well, the Black Culture Center is not far. The community
Okay.
center is just you go up the
Alright.
street and turn left after you get to.
Because
Wide turn
we
across from
just
the
came
church.
because it's winter time. We're gonna come back actually because I heard that it's beautiful in summertime.
Yep.
So this is what we plan on doing.
Oh,
and
good, good.
we
good.
just in the meanwhile we're
Yeah.
trying to see good spots for the next time. Because
Yeah,
next time
yeah.
we're gonna stay a little bit longer.
Okay.
That's
So you're
all.
just doing this independently? Do you have an organization
Okay.
or?
Oh no, independently.
Oh, okay.
Independently. It's just
Okay.
because we, as I mentioned, we don't know so much about black people in Canada
Okay.
because
Okay.
we've been told that there's only Native Americans and white people.
Who
And
told
they-
you that?
I mean, and when you see black people, they're either African or Caribbean immigrants, but we don't know that there
Yeah.
was Native black.
Yeah, well, even
Canadian.
because you said you come from Quebec.
Yes, Montreal.
Montreal. Well, there's folks in Montreal.
Yes,
that,
but not
Not-
Native. Not
there should be
they should be.
in the history.
Because most that we know are either
Yeah.
Caribbean or African.
But if you look back into the history of blacks in Montreal, they date back before the more recent immigration of
Okay.
blacks in Montreal.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
But it's like
Marie
a
Angelique
minority.
Joseph, she set whole Montreal on fire.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
She set Montreal
Yes,
on
that's what I heard.
fire.
That's
Yeah.
true, that's true.
So I mean, I don't know how many of the descendants of the original folks are left now, but definitely there is a community.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes,
We're going
yeah.
to try to find out. 'Cause,
Yeah. Yeah.
we just wanna.
That
uh,
history
this-
should be there. Yeah. And if it's not there, you got to make sure that
Mhm.
people know that it should
Yes,
be there.
exactly.
In Montreal, in Quebec, and also in Ontario.
Yeah.
There's historical communities in Ontario, and
Okay.
like all over Canada, there's historical communities. But
That's
I
true.
find we get lost. Our community gets lost because people focus more on the newer immigration in the past,
Exactly.
from the past 50, 60 years.
Yes.
Whereas, you know, folks have
Exactly.
been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah. That's why. That's what we.
Yeah.
Our goal is to discover. You know, to educate ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if we want to try to open a YouTube channel,
Oh, okay.
and if it's growing, we want to be able to build a bridge between the black community, the black diaspora all
Right.
over the world, you know,
Right.
because that's very important.
Very important. Very
Yeah.
important. Yeah, you might want to chat with some folks from that are working on the what am I trying to say? The decade of people of African descent.
Ah,
You know,
all right.
which that decade is almost over, and I think it's over in 2024. But folks have been trying to connect and
Yeah.
do things. Actually, we just had there was a conference in Halifax, a national conference,
National conference,
National Black Conference in
Okay.
Halifax. Michael Jean.
The former, Michael Jean, the
Yeah,
former,
her foundation, I think, helped to
General
organize that.
Governor.
Yeah, Governor John. Yeah,
Governor General,
yeah.
yeah.
But it was the conference this year was held in Halifax. It was supposed to be before COVID, but then COVID came, so it was held in Halifax
Okay.
this summer.
And it wasn't postponed
It was postponed during COVID.
during COVID.
It was supposed to be that year,
Yeah.
but COVID came. So then it was held this year, like this summer gone by in
Okay.
Halifax. But folks from all over the country,
Yeah.
all over the country. Yeah, just celebrating us.
It's
Celebrating
really
us.
very interesting.
Yeah. So
But
fun.
we have to keep your information.
So where
If
you guys
there's
originally?
something-
Where are you from? Like, where's your roots?
Your background. I'm from Cameroon
Okay.
in Central Africa,
Okay.
and she's from Guinea,
West Africa.
West Africa.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have something special for you from from Senegal.
Ah.
And
Our
because we
culture.
take your time, and it's typical
Beautiful.
from West Africa.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So-
Listen, because we are all connected.
Yes.
Tu peux aussi donner un à l'autre femme?
Oui, oui, je vais
Ouais,
le faire,
tu-
c'est ça.
tu vas lui
So
dire ça?
you can make my English. you can put in your like this. Wait, let me show you.
Beautiful.
Okay, so you can do like this.
Oh, yeah.
And in Africa, you usually the
Around the
woman,
waist.
yes,
Oh,
normally it's here.
Yeah.
that ain't gonna fit around my waist.
So that's why I said to you, you can do like this.
Definitely will. I
Yes.
definitely will.
Something
That is
from-
beautiful.
See? It's the stone, really stone. Yeah,
From Senegal?
Yes,
Yeah.
from Senegal.
from Senegal.
Thank you.
Those they are stone. Those one,
You're kidding.
yes, and so it's the children who do that there.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So-
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yes.
And
yes.
thank you for everything.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. And you have to come and
very
visit.
much.
Come and visit.
Yes, we
And
will.
next time I will bring something very special from this school from Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. And we're trying to get our kids reconnected to who
Yes.
we are.
Yes.
You know,
That's
because when
true.
we were educated from a Eurocentric
Yeah,
education system.
that's true.
So we try to ground our children with Afrocentricity here, so they can know who they are and whose they
Exactly.
are. You know, so it's little by little we're trying to instill that greatness in them, so they can know who
That's
they
true.
are. You know, yeah, that's what we try to do
And-
here. And Maureen, she's got our baby, so she starts them off. She gets them started. Yeah.
And I forgot the name of the lady who we were talking
That
to
was
before.
Maureen.
Maureen,
Yeah.
because
I
she has
got-
something for her too.
Yes, I got her number.
Ah, you
Oh,
have
okay.
her
Yes,
number.
yes,
Okay.
I
Okay,
alright.
good. Yeah, she just lives right across the
Yes.
road there.
Yes.
She
Okay.
just lives there. Yeah. No,
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you
yeah.
for your time.
It's a
Yes.
pleasure to listening to you. It's as if we are reconnecting.
Yes.
And wow,
Yeah.
It's
I find it amazing. You know.
It's a lot. Our story is a
Yes.
it's a big story, you know. So we have to
Because we have the same ancestors.
same
And
ancestors.
you telling me what
Same
happened to my
ancestors.
ancestors until today, I'm really touched.
Yes, it's like when I was in Banff one year. I was doing musical theater, and there were some guys there, jazz musicians from Chicago,
Yes.
and so talking to them and talking to us, and like they were the only black people in their program. I was the only black in my program, so we chat, and then all of a sudden I went to use the phone.
Yes.
And they were nearby when I was on the phone, so I was talking to my mother. So I wasn't talking the way I'm talking now. I was
Yeah.
talking my own language,
You have a
Oh,
is
my,
that how
my own version of English, right? And so they said, where are you from? I said, what do you mean where I'm from? I'm from Nova Scotia. Hi.
how is
She
it
said,
called?
why are you talking like that? I said, because that's the way we talk when I'm home. Because the way I was speaking was basically the way they speak. And so, but they had never, like you, they had Nova Scotia, black people in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, well, you mean like recent immigrants from the Caribbean, Africa? No. So I had to give them the history because they, in the U.S., they don't know about us.
Wow.
And we've all come from the same root, like
Yes.
from Africa, South America, Caribbean,
Yeah.
to break in like you're breaking a horse. Then over here to
Yeah.
the North America. But they didn't know the parties. I said, where do you think your grandfather's brother ended up? Oh, yeah. They didn't know the history either.
And the language, is it Ebonic? Because like in the US, it's called Ebonic, right?
Well, but that's the newer word that people,
Okay.
Ebonic, Black English, whatever you want
Yes.
to call it. But yeah,
All right. Wow.
yeah, it's a little faster than down. It's like
Can you just speak
No,
a
I
little bit
can't.
so that we can...
It's gotta come natural. You gotta catch me. You gotta catch me. I'm at work. You gotta catch me when it comes natural.
All right. No
But
problem.
yeah, we have our own, I don't know if you want to call it dialect, our own English way.
Wow.
And it's funny, when someone was doing research, it's a combination. It really is a combination of 16th century English, which would have been the English from when the slaves come over, and some, and I can't even talk about the English grammatical terms, but
Yeah.
bits of the African, the West African, because my brother, when he went to visit the Gambia, and a person would say a thing, and the way that phrase was translated would be the way that we would have said it, not the way that I would say it at school, but the way we say it home. So there's parts of our language that, if translated, come from the West African dialect, mixed with the 16th century English, the
Okay.
French, the Spanish. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so then you get the way people talk in the southern United States or the way people talk here. Not when they're at work, but
Wow. Wow.
you know, or even the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, really.
You know, you think of that English language that got tossed around.
But we have to stay in touch. If there is anything happening, let us know so that we can come. If there's a
Yeah.
conference, a convention, whatever.
True,
So,
yeah, and stuff
no,
goes on.
okay.
Like,
Do you have a card?
Do you have a business card?
I don't
by the
even
way?
have a business card,
Oh,
but
that's too bad.
you can get my work email if you Google Nelson Winder Elementary. You can get my work email.
Okay.
And then if you contact me, then I can give you my personal email.
All right.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So-
And Maureen knows she knows my.
So
Okay.
the name of the
Since
school
I know
is-
the number
yes,
from Maureen.
she has the
Yeah,
Maureen
yeah, Maureen
information
knows.
anyway.
Yeah, Maureen. she's got
All
my
right.
contact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay,
very
thank
much
you
for your
for
time.
everything.
Thank you.
Thank you
Really
so much.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for the gift. I will treasure this. Thank you.
Thank you
So you're headed to the community center, you say?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so if you go up this way,
Yes.
until you get to a Y, you want to turn left and you'll see a church. The community center is right across from the church.
Okay.
And
Alrighty.
the director there is my friend. Rosie.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.